Blessings, mamas. There's one important way to become the best mom you can be, but it's not what you think. It's not reading parenting books and researching all of the parenting styles. It is not being a perfect mom. It is not making sure your child's every need and every want is met. You want to know what it is? It's taking care of you, making sure you are okay mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, so that you can be an example to your children. So that what you want them to be, you can say, hey, I'm living proof. And your kids can say, I want to be like mommy when I grow up. As a matter of fact, I want to be like mommy now. So if you need help with mom self-care, make sure you follow and stay tuned for more videos to help you become whole and healed as a mom. Take care. God bless.
You can love your children deeply and still admit that motherhood is hard. You can lose your patience, make mistakes, cry in the bathroom, and still be a good mother. So welcome back to Carried by Grace, because becoming a better mother isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming more intentional, more patient, and more dependent on God. So without wasting time, let's get started.
So this is a real conversation for real moms and the things that we go through. And if you are one who just loves being a mom and loves your kids and they can be in your face all day, please keep scrolling, because this is not for you. Now, this is for the moms who kids get on their last nerve, don't have no patience, and you just want to go in your room, close the door, and scream. That's me, or it was me. I want y'all to know that I wasn't a bad mom, but I definitely did not have patience. I definitely used to holler all the time and fuss. And my doctor put me on Wellbutrin and Lexapro, right? And honestly, and I got some iron infusions, vitamin D infusions. My levels were all low, extremely low. It had put me in a state of depression, anxiety, just brain fog. I've been messed up for like 3 years.
I think one of the biggest mistakes mothers make is believing that being a good mom means getting everything right. But no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You're going to have days where you're exhausted, days where you don't respond the way you wish you had. And sometimes you look back and think, I should have handled that differently. And that's normal. But that moment doesn't have to become a reason to condemn yourself. It can become a reason to grow. Maybe today you apologize to your child. Maybe tomorrow you listen instead of immediately shouting. Maybe you put your phone down and give them 10 minutes of your undivided attention. Okay? So those small changes matter, because children don't need a mother who never makes mistakes. They need a mother who is willing to learn.
Right? I took the Lexapro and the Wellbutrin, and I literally can just be around my kids all day long. Now, I'm not saying go get medicine if you don't need it. What I am saying, though, is if you feel like that, but you know you're a good person and you know you love kids and you want to see them happy, but you just be so annoyed, maybe it's something with you that you need to fix. Now, I did go through a glow up. I did heal my inner child, and I do think that helped. But them levels being low, I just couldn't get my brain to function the way I needed it to function. So if if it feels like you're a bad mom, you're not. Go get you some help for those babies. A part of growing up is also being able to be the best mom you can be. That's it.
And Christian mothers, there is another part we shouldn't ignore. You cannot pour endlessly from an empty spiritual life. Your children need your love, but you also need God's strength. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do for your family is sit quietly with God and say, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing today, so give me wisdom. James chapter 1 verse 5 tells us that if anyone lacks wisdom, they should ask God. So ask Him, okay? Ask Him for patience when you're tired. Ask God for wisdom when you're confused. Ask Him for self-control when you're angry, and grace when you realize you have made a mistake. You are not raising children by your strength alone. You are raising them while God is also shaping you.
I'm literally going to film this because I'm pretty sure one day I'll look back on this. Like when I make it to my next level. But this is what it looks like being a single mom. I hired my nanny to come and watch my daughter. And 30 minutes before I need to be where I'm supposed to be, mind you, this is for work. And it's been a long time since I've had like a big appearance, a work event, like just something where it's getting me to the next level. And she literally cancels on me 30 minutes before I need to be out the door. And I've called around, like I literally have barely any support. And so it's just frustrating. Like, these are the moments that people don't get to see. Like, they don't see how, like, you're trying to juggle your day. Your day is wrapped around being a mom. But then on top of that, you're also trying to get to the next level. Like, you're trying to hustle, you're trying to bustle, you don't get that freedom to just get up and do what you want to do.
Single motherhood can look quite different from what people imagine. You're not just doing the physical work. You're carrying decisions, finances, schedules, discipline, emotions, and sometimes you are doing all of that while nobody is asking whether you are okay. So if you're a single mother watching this, I want you to hear this clearly. Your exhaustion does not mean you're failing. You can be grateful for your children and still admit that you're tired. Those two things can exist together. And please don't compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. You may not have the same support, the same resources, or the same circumstances, but God sees what nobody else sees.
And even when you try to have it all worked out and figured out, you know, like I plan to have this nanny come, and what are the odds of she literally canceling 30 minutes before I need to be somewhere? These are just the moments where I'm like trying to continue to trust God, because it is already inconvenience that I have been placed in a circumstance where I'm a single mom, and I didn't even want that. And I've been trying to push and keep going and work and put out content and get to the next level. I wanted to press play because I'm trusting God that one day I can look back and just be like, I remember when I was just trying to work and things like this happen, you know? So it's not even like a woe is me, like I need sympathy moment. It's just literally life. And this isn't the first time I've had to like miss out on things that can push me forward. And yeah, it's just frustrating. So it's just been a rough year. I don't like people to see me do this because, you know, I got my haters and people who also contributed into the factor of me being a single mom who want to laugh at me and they think it's funny. This is why I don't show this part online. I don't show the struggle of it all, like the hustle and bustle of it all. I don't show that part because I don't like to see my enemies see me break. But at the end of the day, I'm filming this because I'm trusting and believing that there's going to be a day where I'm going to look back at this and it's just going to be different. I guess I'll show you guys what I was going to be wearing. Did my hair. It took me 2 hours. I've never worn this dress, so I was excited to wear this one. All right, queen. For my queen. You're welcome. Yum. Yum. Good. Love you.
This is where community becomes important. Listen, being strong doesn't mean refusing help. If someone trustworthy offers to help with your children, accept it when you can. If there is a healthy church community around you, don't isolate yourself. Galatians 6 verse 2 tells us believers to carry each other's burdens. Sometimes God answers a prayer through another person. And if you're the friend, sister, church member, or family member watching this, don't just tell a struggling mother you're doing great. Ask her what she actually needs. Can you watch the children for an hour? Can you bring her food? Can you help with something practical? Sometimes love looks less like a speech and more like showing up. And now there is something else I want to say to every mother. Whether you are married, single, working, staying home, or doing your absolute best to keep everything together, don't disappear inside motherhood. Your children are important, but you are still a person too. You still need rest, you still need friendship, you need time with God, and you still have gifts, dreams, and a life that matters. Taking care of yourself isn't automatically selfish. A mother who constantly destroys herself trying to give everything to everybody eventually has nothing left to give. Don't get me wrong. So, give yourself permission to breathe. You don't have to prove that you're a good mother by suffering every single second. Sometimes being a good mother means learning when to say, I need help. We all do need help sometimes. And if you're doing this alone, please remember, you may feel like you're carrying everything, but you don't have to carry it without God. Psalm chapter 68:5 describes God as a defender of the fatherless, and throughout scripture we see him caring deeply about families and vulnerable people. Your circumstances may be difficult, but difficult doesn't mean God has abandoned you.
No one could have prepared me for how much motherhood was going to humble me. If you're doing motherhood right, you're going to see two things happen. You're going to level up your humility, and you're going to level up your accountability. Because at the end of the day, my reactions are my responsibility. Not my kids, not my husband, not my circumstances, my responsibility. And before I was a mom, I feel like I used to shirk accountability a lot. Oh, well, if that person hadn't said that, if that thing didn't happen. But in motherhood, baby, it's you versus you. If I'm reacting before regulating, that's on me. If I'm raising my voice instead of taking a deep breath before I speak with intention, that's on me. If I'm irritable and I'm in a mood, which I'm allowed to be, but then I act out of that mood and say and do things that are honestly just unnecessary, that's on me. I have never felt a greater sense of accountability than I have since becoming a mom. Like, I want to level up. I want to be great at motherhood. I take this job so seriously. And that is why it is so humbling to see how much I need to grow. And growth is interesting because it's like, I can look at myself and be like, wow, Alexa, the way you're reacting to being overstimulation now is so much different than you were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I still have so much room to grow. And nothing motivates me more to grow and level up than wanting to be the best version of myself for my kids. So if motherhood feels hard, mama, it's because you take it seriously. It's because you don't play about your kids. It's because you are putting in the work day in and day out. It's because there are no shortcuts. There's no quick way to grow. It's just daily effort, choosing different words, choosing different reactions, getting to know yourself deeply, understanding your body's cues so that you can respond to them and not react. It's the humility to acknowledge no one is doing anything to you. You are in control of you. It's not your kid's behavior, it's you. And if someone were to talk to me the way I'm talking to me right now, before I was a mom, I would be like, it's not me. And that's how I know motherhood is transforming me in the best ways. The moms who get it are gonna get it.
Motherhood will definitely humble you in ways you never expected. Before children, you can have all these beautiful ideas about how you parent. Then the child arrives, and suddenly you're negotiating with a tiny human who is crying because you cut their sandwich the wrong way. But underneath the funny moment is something very serious. Motherhood exposes your impatience. It exposes your selfishness. It exposes how much control you thought you had, and honestly, that can be uncomfortable. But being exposed isn't always being destroyed. Sometimes God exposes something because he wants to change it. So instead of asking, how can I become the perfect mother? Ask, what is God trying to teach me through motherhood? Maybe he's teaching you patience, maybe forgiveness, maybe humility, or maybe how to apologize. Maybe even how to love someone when you're tired and don't feel like being patient. And that's why motherhood can become part of your spiritual growth. Your children aren't only watching what you tell them, they are watching how you handle anger, how you treat people, how you respond when you're wrong, and how you forgive. You're teaching them even when you're not giving them a lesson. So to the mother listening to this, either single, married, give yourself grace. But don't use grace as an excuse to stay the same. Let God keep growing you. You don't need to be the perfect mother. You need to be a mother who keeps coming back to God, keeps learning, keeps apologizing when necessary, keeps loving, and keeps trying again. And sometimes, try again tomorrow is one of the most beautiful things a mother can do.